5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a podcast. This is our podcast. Welcome to Disabled Perspectives. I'm your host, Brian Jennings, or Mercatic, and today I finally have my co-host,
Tracy got game. In this case, Tracy got podcast.
Tracy got game, Tracy got podcast, Tracy got phone, Tracy got TV.
Everything except the bad stuff.
Tracy ain't got money. Tracy ain't got... No, I'm playing.
However, no. I do not got money. And I'm not a sugar pop. I don't.
Not yet. All right.
Not yet. I wait till about 45 when that health care check goes up to like $2,000. Yes.
All right. So this is the second episode of Disabled Perspectives, and I have been wanting to not do any more episodes until I finally get T on. So we are here. And T, I just want you to... This podcast is just going to be us talking probably about your life and then screwing around a little bit, because that's what we do here.
Yeah.
So tell the people, what disability do you have, T?
I have cerebral palsy, and for those that don't know what that is, no, it's not a disease you can catch. It's a disease that can happen. So if you're walking on the street, bam, hit your head, you might be cerebral palsy. If you're driving your car, not looking around the road, bam, you might have cerebral palsy. So from a simple perspective, disabled perspective, it's a brain injury.
And so how did that happen to you? Was it something you were born with, or did you hit your head while walking across the street? What was it?
Well, it's the doctor's fault. Apparently he pulled me out wrong, my brain bled, and here we are.
And how old are you now?
36 years old.
No, man. Wow.
Hey, whoa. Why had to do a wall? You know, like he had to do a complete shot like you didn't know.
I mean, I knew you were old, but man, I kind of forgot. Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm a sugar pop without the money.
So just a pop?
I mean, I got sugar. It's just not the sugar they may want.
And so, I know a good bit about your life at this point, but what do you say has been the biggest challenge for you with cerebral palsy? What was life What was life like growing up?
Trying to find a way to fit in with your own siblings, you know. When you got two brothers and they could do normal stuff and you can't, it can really mess up your perspective and really mess up how you feel. It's like, man, they playing basketball, I can't play basketball with them. You know what I'm saying? They playing football, I can't play football with them. So the hardest part was trying to find what makes me me in the middle of them living their life.
And so when you were growing up and you were trying to figure out who you were, what did that look like? You know what I mean? So like, because now you know who you are at this point, I imagine. What was a young T's mindset when it came to disability?
Really? It took me a long time to grasp it, because when I was little, I told the doctor I wanted to be in the NBA, and he looked at me like, nigga, you crazy? And I really told him that. He's like, you never gonna walk. He straight up said that. You know what I'm saying? I bust out crying and all that, because I really have my heart set on being in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I really thought that was gonna happen. Don't ask me why, because I don't even know why. So what it looked like for me is it was tough, because you wanna have the same experience as everybody else, but your experience is not gonna be like everybody else. So it took me a while to learn that stop trying to look at the world through everybody else's perspective and look at it from your perspective. Enjoy the things you can do. Enjoy the things that do make me me. You know?
Yeah, and I know we've talked a lot about growing up with like depression and things like that. So what did that? Because it takes a lot of effort to look at things through your perspective instead of somebody else's.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
walk me through that. Um, at what point did you realize, like, oh, I have to change the way? Was there a certain point in your life where you're like, I got to change the way I look at this?
Yeah, and with all as you know, I'm bedridden, and that wasn't always the case. That happened in 2003, so it was like a curse, but it was a blessing. It was a curse because it pulls me from everything. It pulls me from everything social, so it takes away from certain things. But in that same regards, I had to face. I had to learn a lot about me. So when you sitting down and you can't do nothing but think and watch, you really start to think. You know what I'm saying? You really start to watch yourself. You start to watch how you carry yourself, and you start to figure out certain things in the person you want to be. So sometimes to figure out yourself, the best thing to do is to do nothing.
Mm. And yeah, so you mentioned that you're bedridden. So what caused that? For the people that don't know,
I
obviously.
had a bad hip surgery in 2003. For some reason, when they did work on my left and right hips, they put metal in it, and my hips came out. Well, my legs came out stuck together like the peanut man. It was stuck in the crossing position. They didn't know why it was stuck in the crossing position. She tried to pull it apart. It didn't work. So then she was like, "Well, what did y'all do?" And I'm like, well, "What did we do? We ain't do nothing." So we went through that whole ordeal, and like in 2005, I had to find this one man that lives in Lexington, Kentucky. I say live in Lexington, Kentucky, like it was just a random doctor that we found on Craigslist. But no, it was a doctor in Lexington, Kentucky named Dr. Y. Um, he took out my left hip bone, so I have no left hip at all. So just like I say, Jordan can't go to left, I can't go left either. So yeah, he took out my left hip bone and that uncrossed my legs. But I still had the right hip bone, which was giving me problems. So I had to wait another 5 years for them to do like a replacement hip surgery. Now, why did I have to wait for them to put a fake hip instead of a real hip? I don't know. I guess they didn't have the technology in 2005. So I had to wait 5 years, got that done in 2010. And here we are. But during that time, I was just laying around doing nothing because I thought it was gonna be over quickly because all my other hip surgeries was over very quick. So I thought, hey, this ain't gonna be nothing but another hip surgery. So I'm just laying around playing Halo. And you know how they say if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, that's true. So use everything you got, even if it hurts. That's what I would tell my younger self.
So you got that surgery in 2003. How old were you?
Early was about 13, 14.
Okay. So you got the hip surgery around 13, 14, and then what did the next, cuz were you before that you were in school, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I was in school, middle school. I did everything a normal, quote unquote, physically normal person would do.
Mhm.
I did everything. Just, on wheels. You know what I'm saying?
So 13, 14 is when everything changes. After you get that surgery, you say that you're bedridden until when?
Well, until now, I'm still am
So until
because
now.
my muscles are gone to crap. So
Hmm.
I thought I'm doing therapy now, physical therapy now. So hopefully, by me doing that, I have some glimpses of movement in other places, and I can get my core back to being strong. If I can get my core back to being strong, we back on the road.
So that is a large chunk of your life that was just taken from you from a surgery. Um,
Yes.
how does
And I,
how does that affect a child? Because you were 13, 14 at the time.
greatly, 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 greatly. It took me up until I said about 29 or 30 to get rid of the resentment and anger I had through that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I had to forgive myself and I had to forgive the doctor for doing that.
Hmm.
But yeah, it took up a great deal of resentment. And every now and then I ain't gonna lie, it still creep up. Every now and then, I find myself thinking about it when I get in my down moods. But for the most part, I'm good. I just learned life is what it is, and no one knows what the ending chapter is. And I can't change the past, but I can make sure my future is way better than what my past was.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
of
try to
course.
do it.
And so that surgery was to help fix your hip?
Yes, but it backfired because my hip came out of place. I see when you have cerebral palsy, you have a lot of hip problems, and you may encounter a lot of hip surgeries. So they was trying to put it back in place, and the woman was like, "Well, and once I do this surgery, you would never have to have hip surgery again." Which she kind of kept my word, because that's kind of true, partially. You know what I'm saying? I never had a hip surgery like that again, so she was kind of right.
And so after that, were there any more surgeries?
Yeah, I had altogether. I've had eye surgery, and I know sometimes it don't look like it because, my eyes still dribble like Allen Iverson in 2001. But I had eye surgery. You know what I'm saying? I had back surgery. Um, um, a couple other surgeries that I don't remember because I was like two. But yeah, it's just surgeries out the galore. The life of a disabled person, I guess.
The life of a disabled person. I definitely get that. Um, yeah, because I don't know if I talked about my surgery on the last episode or not, but I had a surgery in the summer, as you know, that was for my bladder, and that was awful. Um, two months in the hospital, I believe. That was fun. That was fun. Hospital.
Uh, Let me ask you something. Can you hold more? Can you drink a bottle of water and not feel like you
Oh
got
yeah,
to run every 2 seconds?
yeah. The surgery itself worked. It's really funny now because now I do the opposite where I used to be like, man, I gotta pee all the time. Now I'm like, I have been peeing for 30 minutes now. Like I didn't. They gave me the bladder of Andre the Giant. Like I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Um.
See, now you're holding a lot, and you ever just yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and
if I
just about what I seen, your recovery process was not easy, man.
yeah I was in the hospital for 2 months. I got something called an ileus the first time, which is basically they had to shut down my entire body to um, take out 12 inches of my intestine and add it to my bladder. And so with that they shut down your bladder and your intestines so they can do it. And what happened was my intestines woke back up. I began like eating and drinking a little bit, and then they shut back down after. And so all this liquid that was inside your body that just naturally gets produced got trapped inside of my intestine, and it had nowhere to go because my intestine stopped working again. So they had to put a tube down my nose and suck out all of this just liquid and gook that was inside of my body, because it was starting to get trapped and make me bloat and things like that. The one funny part about that was, so they take the tube, and you have to drink water so they can get it down your throat, because they stick it down your throat, not your nose, like I said earlier, but down your throat.
Yeah.
Well, no, it actually, I'm lying. It goes through your nose, um, and so you drink water so it can easily go down your throat. And so every time you swallow, they push it a little bit further down. And at some point, they're like, it's in my stomach at this point, and my throat is really like scratchy because it's not used to having something just down there. And so I'm like, yeah, can I drink some water now that it's in there? And they were like, yeah, sure. So then I go to drink water, and literally I drink the water and it immediately comes back up, and I projectile vomit everywhere.
See, no, see, that's wow. That's just wow. So so you couldn't get no liquid down there for quite some time, right?
About 6 days.
So 6 days no liquid, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So everything had to be through an IV. I was almost on the verge of malnutrition. Yeah, I lost, I think, like 20, 25 pounds in the span of like 2 months because I had to go back twice because I got out of the hospital, and then I was recovering for a week at my house, and then I ended up getting a kidney infection and had to go back up. So that
Hey
was
man, the devil was trying to punch you out on that one, but you prevailed.
it was a very interesting experience because there was a moment where I was just purely depressed and tired and wanted to go home and I just couldn't. But thankfully the nurses and doctors, they were really nice for the most part and tried to help me. There was that one nurse who like flipped me like a pancake. Um I didn't I
Yeah,
didn't
there's always one.
I didn't appreciate that much.
There's always one. I'm serious. There's always one.
It was just
I remember I had just got surgery and they had that this tube that was just getting all this pus and gunk out of the hip,
mhm.
and she tries to pull it out because she got to get it out, I guess. And I guess I was healing faster than she expected. They expected. I don't know. And she was just pulling. I can feel it tugging, 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 and then she yanks, and then it comes out. And she says, "Sorry, sorry."
And you're like, you almost just ripped my body in two.
Right. And and I didn't yell out because you know how so many things is going on that you just can't say anything. That's how it was.
Yep.
So much stuff was going on in my body that I just couldn't. It looked like it didn't hurt me at all. So if any girls was watching at that moment, I would have felt proud because I just felt like tough. But it wasn't me being tough. It was just so much thing in my brain, my body couldn't react.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when I was going through my surgery. Um, however, apparently was not that tough. My doctor literally said that like I can't handle pain well, and I'm like, I have three tubes in me, man. What do you expect?
You're like, excuse me, I'm dying here.
Well, it was funny because I feel so bad for this nurse because they switch nurses every like morning and every night or whatever, and there was one nurse who comes in at the morning, and I'm in like the worst pain I've been in since I got there, and her entire shift was me calling her just to complain. Like I didn't even want anything. I was just complaining. And I literally looked at her at one. I literally looked at her and I go, I know you're tired of me complaining, but I am in so much pain, and you probably are going to quit after this because of me, and I'm sorry.
So you was one of them patients. See, you even get three different type of patients. You get the patients like you that high on different drugs and pain medicine and feeling pain from all different directions. That you get overly emotional, so you start venting like crazy and start saying just all kind of stuff. Then you get the second patients where they shy, they don't want to ask for nothing, but they want to ask for something, but they don't. And then you get the grumpy people who just they hate everybody and everything.
Yeah, I was all
I
three.
was a cross between you. I was a cross between you and Shy. Like I was talkative and emotional, but I wasn't emotional about what I was. I wasn't emotional to where I'm like, oh, I feel this and I feel that. I would just talk about random stuff and joke.
Yeah. See, I and this will be a fun thing to talk about is how do you go about just everyday life when it comes to inconveniences? And I bring that up because I remember when I was in the hospital, at some point it was late at night, and they give you the call button so you can call the nurse if you need anything.
Yeah.
However, what happened was the nurse at some point like helped me flip because they sadly I had to get like a diaper changed every 4 seconds because with a bladder they're with a
Yeah.
bladder surgery
Everything just coming out.
everything is coming out. So at some point they like change me or whatever, and they leave, and they usually they put the call button next to you. That's usually what they do. However, I guess they forgot to put it next to me, and they put it on like this little stand, which was like maybe 2 feet away from me, and I couldn't because I have like three tubes coming out of my body. I can't turn myself at this point to grab it. And so
See, excuse me for a second. See, you're a good human because you see they must have done it by accident. I see they gonna make sure we gonna make sure he don't call ever again.
Yeah, no, I just assumed they did it by accident. But I'm at the point where, like, because if you're in the hospital for too long, your sleep schedule just gets jacked up, and like you can't get
Yeah,
any
you
sleep.
forget what day it is and everything.
Yeah, you forget what day it is and everything. So it's like 2 a.m. and I'm in pain and I need to call the nurse, and I'm sitting there looking around for the call button, and I'm like laying on my back, and I'm realizing I'm like reaching around myself like I'm a character from The Walking Dead who just woke up, and I'm like reaching around realizing, oh crap, the call button's not next to me and I'm in pain. And so I look over to my right and the call button's like 2-3 feet away from me. And I'm like, great, how do I do this? How am I about to grab this thing? And so for like an hour and a half, I'm trying to get enough strength in my body to Superman my way up the bed, turn my body that has 3 different tubes in it, and try to grab this stupid thing. And I'm like, I'm sure they could hear me from the hallway because I'm just actively like,
Yeah, you done turned into Solid Snake.
yeah. And so I finally realized there's like a stick next to me. Like I don't even know what it was. It was some type of like, I think maybe for like clothes or something, some type of like hanger. And so I find it.
Handicap tip 101, people. This is for the non-handicapped people. Always use your environment.
Always use your environment. So I grab this hanger and I'm like, I see the rope and I'm actively trying to like get it out because it's in this basket that's like 3 feet away from me. So not only is it 3 feet away, but it's like in something. So I'm trying to like you ever seen a video of someone trying to get like a rope around an alligator and they're trying to
Yes.
they're like they're like they got their arm out but their legs are all the way back and they're trying to get it around the alligator's face. That's how I was.
This one show they used to go around fighting alligators and stuff and catching them.
Yeah. And so that's how I looked. And I'm just actively for like 35 minutes trying to get this stupid call button. Luckily, I finally grabbed it. And then I called them and I was like, "Hey guys, you guys left me here deserted."
But there was one trick you could have did to prevent all your struggles. See, if you got your cell phone on you take your cell phone, you call somebody you know, and you have them call the hospital, and then you say such and such patients needs help with this. They come running in, and that's how you get somebody's attention.
I think I ended up doing that at some point. I don't know if it was for that or what, but I remember at some point I called the main office and I was like, I need somebody in here and I can't reach the call button.
Yep.
Because
I did that for my grandfather when he was in the hospital. He couldn't get a hold of nobody. Well, they wouldn't. They just literally wasn't answering his call. I don't know what it was. They, I guess they said F him, let him die. I don't know, but I said, hold on, I'm gonna call the desk people and I'm gonna let them know. So I had to let them know that way. Now I don't know how long it took them to get there when I called versus the situation, but that seemed to help. Now, granted, they probably didn't like him after that because why would you like your patient to be calling outside help and it makes you look bad?
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it kind of transitions there with like, yeah, as a handicapped person, the world isn't made for you, so you have to just figure out how to like grab things, just to grab things. I have actively been inside of a Walmart and knocked the entire shelf down, grabbed what I needed, and then booked it.
Have you ever used a shirt to get a shirt?
I don't. You need to explain that one.
Like if a shirt's on the floor, I knew I had another shirt with some length, so I was like, all right, as long as I take this shirt and get that shirt connected to that shirt, I can pull it to me. It worked, but it has to have a button on it, like something solid enough to get caught on that shirt.
So you are actively Indiana Jonesing your way to get a shirt.
Yes, that's how it works. You gotta always figure out a way. You gotta always figure out a way. Because there's always a way to get it done.
Do you do this with the pants too, or is it just a shirt?
Well, in that situation, it was a shirt because it was on the floor, and at the time, I didn't have no grabber, so you know, you gotta make it do what it do. Every handicapped person should have a grabber, by the way, too. If you don't, you do yourself a disservice.
What is a grabber?
A grabber is a little thing when it's like claw attached to a long bar, and you just push it, and it acts as your hands, so
So
to
it's
speak.
it's like one of those games at the arcade where you try to get the little polar bear and it doesn't grab it at all.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Only this game you can win at because you're the boss.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I always use your environment, and you also have to not be afraid to ask for help. I know a lot of times when you're disabled, the one thing we don't want to do is ask for some help.
I refuse to
That's
ask
a
for
tough
help.
thing to do.
I refuse.
Yeah, that's always my last result. I really like I gotta be my HP gotta be on like one. My HP's on one.
He said my health is on one. I can't do
That's
it.
it. But before that, I'm trying everything. Like I'm like, well, how'd you get all them bruises on your face? Well, I tried to do such and such and it didn't work, and I hit my head. Well, you didn't call nobody then? No, because then I just got up and I tried it again, and you didn't try to. No, I got to be facing death for that to happen. I'm sorry. I don't like asking people some stuff.
Yeah, I was actively today I was in a Walmart and I was just buying some stuff. And I was looking for something. I was looking for some hair stuff actually. And so I'm looking down the aisles and I'm looking up at the top of the shelf. And this woman looks at me and she goes, "Do you need help getting anything?" And I'm like, "Nah, I think I got it." And I've always wondered this. Like it's very nice that people want to help me grab things from the top shelf. However, I want to know when people see somebody in a wheelchair looking at the top shelf of things, do you automatically assume that they are waiting there until somebody asks, "Hey, do you need help?"
I think some of them might do that. Like, okay, I ain't that bad with it. You know what I'm saying? But some of them might do that. I gotten quite better as my age goes along. Younger me probably would have did that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Because when she said it, I was like, "Oh no, thank you." But in my head, I was thinking, do you just assume that I have been sitting here for like 10 minutes and I have just been waiting?
My question to you: would she be right her assessment?
No, I just had got there and I was just looking up to look up. You know what I mean? I was just reading it. I wasn't. If I would have needed it again, I would have knocked everything down and ran.
That's like a say back to me. That's the proper way to do it.
Yeah, I refuse to
Cause
ask for help.
listen, to me, knocking everything off the shelf is doing God's work, and I will explain why. It keeps everybody on their toes. Everybody get good cardio. The guy that get paid to clean it up, or woman get paid to clean it up, gets their paycheck and they earn it.
and the and the only
The
people who
woman that
aren't
was
on their
waiting to
toes.
see if you was gonna ask don't have to wait and see if you was gonna ask. She could just go do whatever she was gonna do. It keeps the world moving. So sometimes chaos keeps the world moving.
I mean that is a good point because I love knocking stuff down. I am like a cat who has just drank alcohol. I will knock everything down.
Now I don't even want to ask how you know what a cat drinking alcohol acts like, but we might have to call Peter. But
I, sometimes you just figure things out. You have the internet. I was
sometimes the cat might need a little alcohol, balance them out.
I was also in the same Walmart when a older woman who was maybe in her 60s looked at me, and this is another weird experience only handicapped people have. she looks at
I
me and
already know
she
it. I already know.
and she goes, "You're young. What happened to you?" And like, I guess
And I
valid
gotta ask,
question.
what's your handicap story? Do you go with the truth? I think you sprinkle a little fiction on it, cause you know what I'm saying. What's your handicap story go to?
It depends on. It usually depends on who's asking. If it's a kid, I always have a story. If it's an adult, I usually just kind of brush them off and go like, "Yeah, I was born this way,"
Yeah.
because I'm kind of busy. Like I was shopping. I was minding my business. I do not want to be asked questions like a celebrity. I just want to
Yeah,
shop.
that is odd, ain't it? I think we the only people that get that. The same people, are the only people that get that. It's like, hey, what's wrong with you? It's like, excuse me, I didn't come up to you and ask why you fat. Why you coming up to me and ask why I'm disabled?
Yeah, like it is very odd, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask questions. I advise people to ask questions, but the way you ask it has to be in a certain manner.
Bingo.
Like you can't just walk up to somebody who's disabled and be like, "You're young. What happened to you?" Or you're just assuming that young people don't end up in wheelchairs?
Yeah, young people don't have accidents. Like, you only can hurt yourself when you're 65, guys.
Yeah. And it was really funny because at first I was kind of thrown off, so I literally just went, "I'm sorry," and she was like, "Yeah, you're young. Why are you in a wheelchair?" And then I explained it, and she goes, "Oh, okay, cool. You're handsome, by the way," and then walked away. And I was like, "Huh?"
I don't know. Depending on, I mean, she's 60. You said she was 60, right?
She had to
So
be in
that
her
might be
sixties.
that might be a flirtations move. You know what I'm saying?
I I
Let me, let me,
I do
let me
not
lead with the wise like this, and then
I do not need a sugar grandma.
you don't want a sugar mom. You don't want her to give you some butterscotch, because all old people got butterscotch,
all
especially
old
black old
people,
people.
all old people have butterscotch in their left pocket.
Yep, always the left butterscotch and peppermint. Cause don't nobody really want peppermint, bro. I don't even know how peppermint's still in business.
Big peppermint is running the is running the world right now.
like, do you go to the store and be like, you know what I really want? I want some peppermints.
I mean,
Oh,
no, but I also don't go to the store and ask for butterscotch.
that's another one too. Like who is getting these butterscotches? All right,
The
because I know it ain't a bunch of 70-year-olds walking up in there asking for butterscotch.
it's the 65-year-old white women who are hitting on all the handicapped men.
Possibly, but where is butterscotch being sold? Because I don't know, maybe things have changed in 2025. I haven't been to the store in a very long time. But when I did go to the store, I never seen a butterscotch being sold. So where do butterscotch come from? Where do peppermints come from? Like I know when it's Christmas time, you got a candy cane, but that's about it.
You know that little corner of all the Walmarts where they sell the clearance and nobody goes over there because it's really shady. And there's like the one guy who's like, "Hey, go here, I got something for you." That's where.
Yes. Ah, see, I ain't go over that because I ain't want to be taken.
Yeah, I actually went over there today. There. So I was surprised. There was a Superman doll on clearance. I should have bought it.
Yeah, you should have. And if you were to be taken for going over there, I gotta ask. If you have on your seatbelt, how do they take you?
I mean, that's. I was gonna say that's a good point, but I got kidnapped like 3 weeks ago. No, it was
Wait,
longer than
wait,
3 weeks ago. It was 2 months
wait,
ago now.
wait, wait. What?
Yeah, I got kidnapped because again handicap. I was
Okay, I gotta know this one. All right.
I was walking around outside, and yes, guys, I use the term walking. Rolling sounds dumb. He said walk. I was walking around outside, and it started raining, and it was pouring, so I had to haul to get to my house, which was I don't know maybe like 6 minutes away from where I was. And so I am trucking through the rain like I am in some inspirational Rocky movie. And my contact is like falling out of my eye. I can't see where I'm going. And this one guy sees me and he's like, "Yeah, do you need help?" And I'm like, "Nah, I got it." As like I'm actively drowning. And so he like looks at me and he shakes his head, and then he drives up a little bit to where I was walking, and he parks his car and he gets out of his car and walks up to me and grabs the handles of my wheelchair and just takes me to my house. He straight up was like, "Yeah, where do you live?" And like at this point, I can't tell him no because like he's already abducted me. I can't do anything.
Yeah, like yeah, how would that look? Like let's say you say no, and then he's like, you know what? I'm about to fully go through with this. You ain't going. So yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta comply at that point.
I had to comply. It was either let him at least take me to my house or like I don't know. He just literally kidnaps me. I had no choice.
Because you know you got them people like, oh, so you think I'm gonna try to kidnap you? All right, so then I'm gonna try to kidnap you since you think it.
Yeah, so
Wouldn't you just be proving my point?
I just had to like let him do it. I had no choice, and so he just walked me through the. Also, the fact that he was willing to walk me through the rain is really funny to me because he didn't like force me to get in his car. I guess that was a little too much, but like walking me to my house, that's okay.
I mean, props to that guy for trying to do a good deed. I mean, sometimes when you disabled, people try to do overboard things. I guess to get their good cool points for heaven. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's like leave me alone, man. But we appreciate it.
Yeah, I was actually watching a video on Instagram recently. This one Paralympian was talking about how it's really weird being handicapped because it's the one of the only facets of life where you can experience being treated like a king and then like a peasant within the same exact day.
Yes,
And yeah,
yes,
it's really weird because you can go to some place and like if you can't get in, people will offer to carry you through the steps like you are a
facts,
king. And without
facts,
question, you don't even have to ask. They'll just be like, "Oh, I got you."
facts. I
And
always tell people, being handicapped, people treat you how they should treat everybody for the most part.
I agree. However, in that same day, you can go to a place where you need to where you need to get inside, and the people running the business will be like, "That sucks."
Exactly. I don't know what I can do for you.
Have you ever
Or
thought
you'll have
about?
that one. Or you'll have those one people that get mad at you and they say the most hateful thing they can say is like, "You didn't even have to say that. All I asked you was, how do I get to this Walmart?" And you said, "Haha, you crippled." It's like I noticed.
Yeah, yeah, and that is the thing that people with disabilities have to deal with all the time. It's like I don't personally mind handicap jokes. I think it's fun, but when for some reason when you are disabled, people love doing that. They will hit you with those jokes, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
I didn't even. We were talking about like a basketball game. What happened?
As soon as you get the green light, they let every thought they ever thought just flood out. It's like, dang man, how many of those thoughts did you have?
you say that their shoes look stupid, and they're like, "Yeah, you're crippled. You can't even wear shoes." Ha! And you're like, "Okay."
Why do you even buy them?
And you're like, "Well, because it's the law. I can't go into places without shoes. I don't know.
Right. It's
Sorry."
like it's like just because I can't walk on shoes don't mean I don't want to feel some sense of normalcy.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
like
come on.
Jordans.
Exactly. People still like fashion too. But yeah, you're right. It's the only time you get treated like a king and you get treated like a peasant.
And so another question I have, and then we'll start wrapping up, is what is the weirdest interaction that you can think of that you've had when it comes to being handicapped?
When people always want to ask you about my yodel, randomly,
Ah,
they're like, "Oh,
the classic. Do you have sex? Does it work? And how do you use the restroom?
exactly." It's like out of all the millions of questions you can ask me, that's the first one that pops in your mind. So I would say that's the most weird interaction. You know. Was when people ask that, because it just be random. You could be talking about LeBron James scored 50, and somebody would just go, "Yo,
Does your Yoda work?
exactly." It's like you you've been thinking about this for quite some time, haven't you? I can see the little glee in your eye when as you wait for the answer. You've been thinking about this for a while.
And how do you handle those situations? Because I think that they're pretty funny. Like I think they're weird, but I entertain it.
I still haven't perfected a way to handle it, so I'm usually just like, "What?" and I just stare at them until it's dropped. But I'm curious to know how you handle the situation.
I usually just turn it back on them. There was a guy specifically. Actually, it happened recently, but there was a guy one time in high school who asked me, "Do my thighs sweat?" And I remember asking like, um, "Do you want to know? Like, why? Why is this on your brain?" And then I asked like, "Do you want to find out?" Like, and he was like, "Ew, no, bro, that's gay."
But
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 you
asking about a very specific spot on your body and your thigh is
my
not gay.
right?
So it's almost like he had a meter on his gator where it's like I'm gonna just teeter the line a little bit. And why would you ask about sweat?
Specifically sweat.
That's a crazy thought process.
Yeah, I mean it, and people don't have like a filter. Like it is very entertaining because people always have those questions of like, how does this work? But
Yes,
but some people do not have a filter of when to ask that question.
and not at all. And also, I got one more thing to ask you because I don't know if you ever get this because for some reason people think the government pays for everything when you're disabled.
Doesn't the government pay for that? Don't isn't there a program for that?
Yes, I get that all the time. Oh, your house. Don't they want the government buy your house? Want the government buy this? Want the government buy that? And I had to tell them every time the way this system works is every disability is on the same level. Meaning, if you got ADHD, they treat you on the same level as me. Yeah, there are certain things I can get that will help me. I'm not saying there isn't, but they don't go around buying houses. They don't go around buying groceries. This is not Dubai. And if you've been to Dubai, you know what I'm talking about. They give you half off of everything. This is America. We don't do that.
Yeah, they
So the same struggle you deal with is the same struggle we deal with.
yeah, like people are always shocked to learn that I don't get disability. And they're like, "But you're disabled." And like and they always give the example, "But my like uncle who is just half blind gets disability." And it's like, "Yeah, I don't know what to tell you."
Yeah,
And the,
it's a messed up system.
and usually you have to, from what I've been told, you have to apply 3 times, get denied, and then get a lawyer involved to qualify for disability. However, they will take your disability away if you make over a certain amount of money anyway.
Yep.
Also, there are people who are handicapped who don't want to get married or who do not get married specifically because they will then count your spouse's money against you and take
Yep.
away your disability.
So if you want a happy life as a disabled, don't work and don't get married. Die alone.
Die alone. That's the name of the podcast. Actually, we are rebranding from Disabled Perspectives to Die Alone.
Perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And sadly, that's the truth. I'm joking, but that's really the truth. Well, at least that's the message that they send out.
Yeah, the amount of stuff that I haven't qualified for because I am not disabled enough, while actively being in a wheelchair, is pretty impressive. Actually,
It's crazy. All because, well, look, he can work and he has a job and he has a car, so he doesn't need a disabled check. There was this friend that I knew named Lewis. His mother was blind and she didn't qualify. All because she knew how to get herself to work.
But did she have the other five senses and dress up in a very weird costume, wearing all red, and beat up a man named Kingpin?
I never thought to ask because I don't want to blow her cover if she is. So if you're out there, just know, I know who you are.
Daredevil.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean the system is not fair, and I wish they treated everybody on a case by case basis, but they do not.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
it is very interesting the way they treat people. Um,
and I kind of understand why they don't, because if they did do everybody by case basis, like let's say if you had an extreme case, let's just say they give you 3K a month for the extreme case of a disability. If they did it like that by case basis, then people will be making their kids disabled on purpose for that $3,000 check. But I promise you,
as
even though that
opposed
may
to the
sound like
people
a
who
good
already
offer, it's not
don't do
worth
that,
it. What you say?
as opposed to the people who don't already do that.
Well, you're right. But the numbers will skyrocket.
But
But they
yeah,
do have they do have a fetish for that. I forgot what it's called. You're right.
but yeah, it is very interesting how people treat you and how the government treats you. But also, it is very 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 funny when people are surprised you don't get certain things. That is always funny.
Very. Yeah, I have to hear it every day.
The amount of times I have been told like, but don't you get a disability? And I'm like, no.
It's not how it works. He's too successful.
Yeah, I'm too successful with my minimum wage job.
The government's like, you're trying,
Yeah, you're.
Brian. You can't get it. You're trying.
Yeah, how dare you try? Why don't you just sit there? You you don't wanna sit there and do nothing? How dare you? You don't get any help.
That's why this might be a very socialistic thing to say, but I wish the world was moved off. I wish the world rewarded us for success, but they don't. They reward us for failure. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, I don't run that podcast. We talk about disabilities over here, and that's it.
Yes.
And death, apparently.
Well, that goes hand in hand with the disability, right?
Hashtag die alone.
Yes. Hashtag die alone. That is the word of today for this pod. Hashtag die alone. Nobody wants to, but if you're disabled, you just might.
if if you if you want to be happy in life, die alone.
Exactly. Can't nobody make you mad then?
Can't nobody make you mad then. You just die alone. Have you ever tried dying alone?
It's very peaceful.
It's very peaceful, actually. But yeah, it is very very weird. Yeah, some of the comments we get from people in public are
Oh yeah,
very strange.
oh yeah. Do you like that's a Raven face? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When the kid just points at you and like look, and the parents be so scared because they think you gonna react like crazy. It's like nah, I get it, but I like to see the looks on the parents' faces. They be in panic mode.
Yeah,
They're like, I'm so sorry, little Timmy came over and did that.
the amount of times I have had to tell parents to let their kids ask questions. It's like I promise a kid asking me why I'm in a chair is not going to offend me.
Right.
Most of the time I'll probably just have fun and tell them I got bit by a shark.
Exactly.
In
It,
fact, in
it,
fact, you telling
so
your kid not to ask me a question is making it to where now he looks at all handicapped people as weird.
yeah. In fact, I might get a little bit more offended if you don't let him ask it than rather you do because you think I'm gonna go ballistic on this little child. How dare you?
Yeah. Please don't ask me questions. Actually, I am not your
Yeah,
celebrity.
if you're an adult, figure it out.
If you're an
All right?
adult,
I didn't get paid. I don't get paid to teach you.
if you're an adult, use Bing.
Right, Bing. Bing. If you're an adult, use Bing and use Ask Jeeves. For
Yeah.
all the old heads out there, you know what that is. Jarvis. Ask Jarvis. I don't forget his name. Sorry, Jarvis. Google took your place.
Yeah, just duck go it actually. Look up how do handicapped people exist. This podcast is going to be fun. It is going to be all over the place because structure in a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
No.
But how can you have structure when you're born without structure?
Exactly. It is as messy as my life is.
Exactly.
So, the next episode, we will talk about things. What those things are. I don't know yet. I don't even know when the next episode is going to come out. I just do this.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. If y'all like it, we love it. If y'all hate it, I ain't going to say the last part. But you can write it. Everyone's supposed to love it, but it's the opposite.
And here's the thing is, you don't really have to like it. But the hood going to love it. And that's all that really matters to us at the end of the day. And so, to end, I think that this has been a pretty, all over the place podcast, but it's episode 2 and it's fun. This has been Disabled Perspectives with Brian Jennings, or McHaddock, whatever you hear people call me. I have many of names.
They have many of names. He has many of names. You can say Tracy, TJ, T, whatever. Whatever you can think of, say it. Just make sure it's not rude. Alright? Because I just might run over your foot.
And if it is rude, be funny.